Hey everybody, today I want to give you my thoughts on the ProTech and Chaves Scapegoat collab here. I'm just going to start off by saying I'm not a huge auto fan as far as everyday carrying. I think they're really fun. I come from a state, as these do, same state, where these are not legal to carry. And so when I got to the state of Oregon, where I live now, which to the best of my knowledge, they are legal to carry. I ended up with my first auto as my 40th birthday gift from my friend Chris Lechapapa. First production, and so I run with this every day that I run. So generally it's 3 or 4 days a week, and it's super lightweight and I love it. So anyway, autos aren't my number one to go to, but they've been growing on me. ProTech does an amazing job of autos. I've had a few ProTechs, 2 autos from them. I had the Synapse, which was amazing. Ended up trading that for a different knife, but this is really cool. So I'm gonna go over the size. My hand itself, for me, sitting right around 4 inches on the palm there. So I think I have large to extra large hands, you tell me. But anyway, this does fit in my hand. We've got overall 7-inch blade, 4-inch handle. And we're gonna compare it to some other blades that I have that are autos, and then just some options that I generally will carry in this size. And so we have a 3.15 inch blade. We have 2.85 ounces, so pretty lightweight. There's no milling in there, but it's pretty lightweight. I think the design itself is pretty simple and basic. Well executed for sure. Pocket clips from ProTech are always some of my favorites, those and Kershaw's. I'm just going to compare those, very similar in the Kershaw's. ZT, also very similar. Let's just pull out a bunch of knives here that I'm going to compare to today, just for autos' sake. I've had more autos than this, but I've sold them. And so I think the ProTech kick is pretty good. If you watch my unboxing video, this jumped out of my hand and cut my board here, which is fine. It's cheap board. But anyway, it kicks out, smacks pretty hard. I feel like once it's open, I like having the button here because then your thumb's already there. And to use this knife for me, I'd probably be sitting like up on the choil here, or on the blade. Not the choil, but right there is where I would sit to use it. Choking up's no problem. We've got all that leverage. I would appreciate, some texturing, which I'm sure they're going to do in the future, because ProTech is really good about making, obviously, different variations, like this one here with the acid wash and the pearl button, and then the rose gold accents. Really cool. One of these I will not keep. One I'll put up on Blade Bench. If you don't know, these are Magnamax. Magnamax. This is Magnacut here, which is kind of the best balanced steel at the moment as far as all around, and looks like they got a brother or so here, which is going to have a little bit better edge retention, or a lot bit better. I don't really know. I couldn't tell you exactly. I'm sure you can do your own research. And then we've got Crewwear. So we have the ZT0 0512. I think that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is a knife that has been growing on me a ton, and I love it. It's perfect size for my hand. I love the blade shape, everything about this. I do appreciate a spear point. This one I've just been kind of playing with around the studio. And basically I'll play with the knife around the studio. If it speaks to me, I keep it. If not, I sell it. This is a cheaper knife for sure compared to the ProTechs, but I think this is the perfect amount of slap or tension on there. It's not going to get any type of like false start or get stuck. Another example would be of a lighter spring. This is one you can swap out yourself. So if you live in a state where it's not legal, you can put in the bearings. I have a whole video on this, on how I do it, but this slap on this isn't super aggressive. And I do actually appreciate that. It's locked in for sure, but it's not like, feel like it's gonna, come out of your hand. Or if you ever swing a metal baseball bat, you get that ting. Sometimes you get that ting with these ones here. The G10 does dampen it a little bit, and the micarta does dampen it a little bit. But this here is the RMX. We have the Iridium here. Magnacut RMX is in 390. The 0512 is in Crewwear. This is a great blade. I love having a finger choil. This size right here is perfect for me. I'm really excited for the new Excalibur coming out. It's going to be, I think, somewhat similar to this, where the point is down the middle. So, and it's just big enough you can get leverage. You can come up on it and really get down and cut and do what you need to do. This one particularly is very lightweight, integral, very cool blade. I know that these come in drops and they come and go. So anyway, lightest, medium light. These are probably some of the hardest. And then this one hits pretty hard too, the ZT. And then this is the, oh my goodness, let's see what's on the blade. This is an M4 blade, and this is the, does it have it on here? I don't even know. I think this is the 21. I can't remember. I had the 23, or this is the 22. I don't remember, but this is Kershaw. Kershaw and ZT, if you don't know, you probably know this for watching this video, are the same company, and they're based out of Oregon. So anyway, this is a blade that I think is the best budget version for a tough, large, obviously much larger than these. I think that for an everyday carry, this one is pretty sweet, for the size, the price, and the weight. So we've got aluminum on one side, G10 on the other, and pocket clips are very similar to ProTech, and I think very well executed. I appreciate these a lot more than like a milled pocket clip. A lot of times the milled pocket clips will just kind of get caught on your pants a little more than you'd like. Sometimes they don't, depending on the manufacturer. But anyway, I think these are really cool blades. I'm going to keep one and just get to know it better. But yeah, I ended up with both just because they, you never know if you're going to be able to get one, and ended up getting one, so I'll sell one on Blade Bench. But I wanted to see which one I wanted to keep. Odds are I'll probably keep the standard issue, just because I'm pretty plain. I don't need anything too flashy, and I'm sure someone else out there will appreciate this one, but I wanted to see it in hand, see what it felt like. Little nitpick on this one, which I think is kind of interesting, is both the grinds on these were a little uneven on both the bevels. Not a huge deal. I'm probably going to end up sharpening them anyway. These are Magnamax, and these are 63 to 65 on the hardness versus like, 62 to 64 over here, I think, something like that. I can't remember. I think 63 is a sweet spot for Magnacut. But anyway, the acid wash is kind of funny in here. It's like acid wash, but like partially on there. So I think if you're like paying extra for the acid wash, it'd be kind of cool to see if it went all the way to the edges. But just little things that were interesting to me. But overall, super cool blade. Yeah, for how small it is, it does work really well, and I think it's a cool design. Like I said, it's very basic and kind of, it's very basic. It's just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's cool. So I think it's a really neat blade. I'm going to set these autos aside and just put those over here. Just kind of go over some non-auto options that I kind of will compare them to in my mind. Obviously, you'll have like, bug out, which I don't have anymore, but we've got something similar here. It's the Vosteed TI Slim. I guess part of it, having an auto, is a lot of times it's cold where I live half the year, so my fingers are getting numb, and so it's nice for me to have a little more control over my knife. And I don't want it to pop out of my hand. These do have a lot of kick, and then it's not really fun to fidget, or it's hard to like kind of close this with one hand. You can do it, but you kind of fear cutting yourself, which I do close a lot of my knives. I definitely do it on camera a lot because I'm looking at a screen right here in front of me, an iPad. So I can make sure that this is in frame and in focus for you. So if anyone wants to know that, that's why I do that. But I do generally prefer like something that's a little more fidgety. For example, like I think one of my favorite carries right now is the Tango, and the slap on that detent is just so rad. And I love this blade shape. This knife itself, really cool, very small, very similar size, I think almost identical in size. Different, obviously, ergonomics and whatnot, but it's a little more fun to use, just in my opinion, a little more fun. Axis locks are kind of boring, but they work great. They're very, very, easy to use. And this one's really neat. Next up would be basically like the Concourse. I think this is a really cool blade, also a really hard detent and a cool design, frame lock, and so you get a little more fidget factor on this. Hopefully we're focusing. But yeah, a fun blade. 14C28N on this one. We've got LMAX here, and then S90V hollow grind on that one. And then another one that this is the XL version, but the Bel Air is also, I think, a phenomenal blade shape and design. Even the small one. I did, if you don't see my video, I did turn this into a clutch lock because the spring on the Mega Springs on these is a little light, and I did just pick up. I got some springs I'm going to be putting in here. I kind of forgot about that. I've been busy with my day job. So I'll try out some springs that were made for Benchmades. I got a large and a small because I think these are larger springs. But yeah. And then just one more that I think sits around like this size-ish is Exceed Designs. What did you call this? Tyrant V3. A little smaller, but just something that's like a good everyday. So something I really enjoy. I actually keep this just in my fifth pocket, and it's kind of something I just use to, do work around the house and other things like that. So anyway, just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what I think of this design. I think it's really neat. I have not owned a Chaves before. All of his knives look really cool. ProTechs are just always bangers. Yeah, they're always great. You can't really go wrong with the Mordax, Malibu. The new Avalon looks awesome. So if one of these goes up on Blade Bench and someone has an Avalon, and you watch this video, down to trade you. But yeah, I know those are pretty sweet. And then the integrity looks pretty cool too. I think that for me, something that's a little more fidgety. I'm not like, if I'm gonna go out and hard use a knife, I'm probably gonna grab something like this right here. If I'm camping, I just take this with me, beat it up. It's M4, it's super tough. I'm not you know, like a nerd when it comes to like the steels. I mean, Magnacut's great. I do want to be able to sharpen my blades and, you know, not have to like, I don't even know what it'd be like to sharpen this, but imagine it'd be, you know, different and interesting. I've sharpened Magnacut, not too bad. M4, super easy to sharpen. So this being, you know, Magnamax is cool. It's like the first few out there. But it's not like a deal breaker for me. I'm fine with S90V or LMAX or 14C28N or standard Magnacut's great too. But it is cool. I mean, it's awesome that we got someone pushing the boundaries in the industry, and that's pretty rad. Otherwise, it's never going to go up. And actually, one more blade that I do think it's larger, but is a very light carry is this one right here. And this has been a favorite. This is the Atom in Magnacut from TRM. #1 pocket clip for me overall. That and the Vero, the Synapse Vero pocket clips are phenomenal. They're milled tie. I'm pretty sure this is titanium. Yeah, this has got to be titanium. But yeah, anyway, hopefully this is helpful if you're looking at one of these. I know there's not probably any in stock right now. One of these will be on Blade Bench for you if you to buy in the next week or so. Because I don't need both, but yeah, if they will come back in stock, I'm sure, like ProTech does. They'll probably do more variations, and hopefully they do something textured, which would be sweet. Because when you do have a small knife, it is nice to have some sort of indexing to know where your blade is and all that, you know, just versus just grabbing a slab of metal. But yeah, very cool. Yeah, ProTech's awesome. So thanks for watching the video. If this is helpful, just give me a little thumbs up and let me know. And if you did get one of these, let me know how you like it. See ya.